Hey everybody, morning. All right, come on in, share the video, like the video. Hey Pastor, how are you? Come on in everybody. Share this video early, like this video now. Don't wait. Hey Pastor Dave. Pastor Dave is out there on the hustle, on the grind, pushing. Push him to start. Now he's pushing me to continue. That's the way it is. Pastor, the great bishop in the Lord's house, David K. Allen. Yes, everybody, come on in. Come into the room. Let's have a discussion. It's overcast today, but because we had a murder in the house of God in a church in Brooklyn, rain, snow, sleet, or shine, we decided to get up this morning out of our bed and hit the ground running today, because anytime that you have reached in a community and a society that you can have a murder in a church, I don't care, church, house of worship, temple, synagogue, mosque, anything that represents a higher being, and someone can come into the church and literally commit murder in the house of God, and all of and I think that it's just a matter of idea of, people are trying to decide, what to do or how to support. So I think we have to give people clear instruction moving forward, and I'm going to work on that so that you can be outraged, individually at your home. People gonna be praying about the conditions of the world, but sometimes um, we don't have a specific um, role of action for you in the community, because when we send out these press conferences about these events, we're not sending it out to everyone. So I think moving forward, there needs to be a community response to things like these. But at the same time, pastors have to be connected to as well and know where the action is coming from. That nobody wants to be able to be in a church where someone was shot and killed. Who wants to be, Uh-oh. Yo, somebody load those up in there. That's natural in Brooklyn. That's an everyday thing. Got sidetracked for a minute. Yeah. So, and so we, I had an opportunity to go to the church yesterday. Meet the pastor and also his son, of the deceased, a beloved custodian, 62 years old, who was called the mayor of the street in that particular area. Love everybody, took care of the church. As a matter of fact, the story goes that the pastor said that this young man, for many years, were out on the street. He took him in, changed his life completely, was doing all good, and someone that he knew. And the suspect is identified. The, just not picked up yet, but definitely the suspect is identified in this murder case. But how do you have a murder in a church? In our communities, even before, churches are the bedrock to society, regardless of what people say. Churches are the place where people look at transformation and life change. Hearts are being broken and being made whole again. People, parents, and sons got buried in this sacred place. People go to the house of worship to pray, to seek answers from God. The house of worship is not a place of violence. It's a place of beauty and tranquility. It's a place where people symbolically go to represent the tabernacle of God. And even though the economy has changed from the Old Testament to the New, and Jesus himself, Yeshua, became the temple, as he said in Matthew chapter 24, when he says that, listen, you know, I'm going to destroy this temple. And then in John 2, he said that I'm going to build it back up in 2 days. And then his disciples was baffled as to how could Jesus destroy the temple that took 46 years to build, that Herod the Great continued to fortify that great temple. How could this temple, who took 46 years to build, in US dollars, that would be about $6 billion to construct in today's days, in today's money. How could you destroy the temple and build it back in 2 days? Well, he said, I'm not talking about the physical structure. I'm talking about the temple as my eternal body. And we know that, of course, you know, the Lord is not dwelling in places made with hands, but symbolically, where the place that you come to meet God, a place where you can commune together, a sacred space, a space where you can definitely come to seek refuge, can turn into a horror house of individuals in our community that is so sick mentally and otherwise, spiritually as well. Spiritually, that is on the downcline. And when a city has lost its soul, then the city itself is lost. When the city has lost its soul, the city itself is lost. If we continue to break down every church on every corner and build up beautiful high rises, if the city becomes soulless, then our city is lost. But I know for sure that the city will not become soulless as long as there's people like myself and those of you who are on this chat, on this view, can do anything about it. So if a city has lost its soul, the city itself is lost. And there is a thing. Okay, if someone is, I don't know if what the response would be if someone was shot in a mosque or in a synagogue. I want to tell you that that response is not going to be so tepid, so short-lived, like what we have seen. And then we are so tired trying to fight so many different battles that now the battle has come to our very doorstep. And like we did a press conference, we talked to the people, we are disgusted, we are frustrated, we are fed up. And then what? Who is going to fight for us? You know what I'm saying? Like if something like this happened, now is the time that we need people to push the agenda forward. Because in the midst of tired, someone send me a note and say, how many, if I don't get tired of going to memorials, funeral services, visiting with parents, supporting young people, doing all this work? And the answer is that I can't afford to get tired. We can't afford to get tired, right? We got to keep on the grind. But we should be at a different place where that other people from other races, other religion can come and hold up our hands and say, this is unacceptable. How could someone be shot in a church? This is not a hearsay. Shot in a church, killed, and then we have this really tepid response that we have today. Today is Wednesday. It is today is the second day that this young man was killed in the church. We did a press conference. I see that we have one or two stories, but come on, where is the rest of the? I don't want to say where the outrage, because people could be outraged, and you're outraged in your home, and it's the same outrage. But on a larger scale, this response have to be better and greater than this. I mean, you know, we had a young man who was stabbed in a synagogue in Crown Heights. This deranged person who came in and stabbed someone. And, you know, I just don't understand the response that we give in our city. I don't understand how we exact justice and law. I don't understand how we equate value to houses of worship. I don't understand how we equate value to a black life or a brown life. I'm not sure how we equate value to to the world. I don't know. And like I said, it's like you're tired, you're beaten, you're defeated. Um, you're working around the violence, and then it happens in a church, and then you do what you could do. You get back home, you feel defeated. You try to figure out how could this happen inside of a house of worship. How could this happen in front of a church, right? So you feel defeated. You feel like, okay, um, what more could we do? What more could we say? So I think that we we would need to figure out moving forward what is the overall response in our community for someone being killed in a house of worship. I mean, we are at that point now that we are figuring out what our response should be collectively if someone is killed in a house of worship. What is our response if someone is killed in a school? What is your response if someone is killed in a hospital? And the thing with these churches is that I'm in front of a church right now. And there is so many different churches, so many different sizes that you can't say, well, you're going to hold on 1 second. Noise brigade, hold 1 second. Sorry. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. All right. It was just a little bit of noise. All right. So how do we put together a plan of action for some people who are killed in churches? Do we put out a special, you know, outcry? Like, what do we do? And again, like I said to you, sometimes we feel defeated in the fact that you're doing all this work, and then in the very church that I'm standing in front of right at this minute, um, uh, you feel that you have done everything, and the crime and the murder has actually reached to the doorstep of the house of God. We have been now having murders just about in every tangible way per se. So I don't know if the city itself, of course, feels defeated as well. Um, if so many people are just saying that enough is enough, and then it happens to into a church, and then you figure that, man, how low could we get? And then I could see pastor was visibly shaken. I was totally saddened that I stood in front of a church. I'm in front of a church right now talking about the fact that somebody on the inside. You good, man? Yeah, yeah, yeah. How you doing, man? Yeah, man, bless. Yeah, small? Okay. Yeah, man. Good to see you. Yeah, bless. Yeah. You're on the street, so when you're on the street, if you on the street and nobody knows you, you're not from the street. I'm doing my live right now. People are passing by. I say, hey, what's up? So yeah. So I think that we have to figure this out. Like, I don't know if I'm saying the right things. Sorry about that. I'm changing hands. I don't know if I'm saying the right thing or I'm doing the right thing. But one thing that I do know is that sometimes you need other people to fight for you. And I think that now is a good opportunity that none of us, no clergy member, no one who is pastoring, should be calling right now a rally, calling on every possible good citizen to denounce this type of killing. I don't think that the black church, even though we're doing our thing, we're working. Pastor yesterday I was saying was visibly shaken to the core that someone was literally killed in the church, killed with a gun, shot, blood is in the church. I mean, now is the time for everyone else who are not part of the Christian faith to come out and speak out and to hold up our hands, because right now we were frustrated. Listen, Bishop Claudio, Bishop Figueroa, Bishop Seabrooks, those who called the press conference together. I saw Bishop Claudio, who is a veteran in the city and in the Latino community. literally shaken yesterday at the press conference, tired, frustrated, dealing with the crime and the violence, and then having to come and deal with a shooting in the house of God. What more can we say? What more can we do? All I'm saying for this post is that what we need right now is I need the people who are listening to me, who is of a different faith. This is your opportunity to hold up our hand. If you want to have any true partnership, now is your opportunity to hold up our hands. Because someone being shot and killed, we had an incident where a synagogue was in Bushwick. They break the glass. The same Bishop Claudio, myself, Bishop Clark from the 8th, I think it is, and a few other pastors from the God Squad, from the Borough President's office. We went down to Bushwick, and we was definitely saying that, listen, spraying swastika and synagogues, breaking houses of worship glass is unacceptable. This is just breaking a glass. We went to that synagogue. This is about killing somebody inside the vestibule of a church, inside the sanctuary, not all the way in the sanctuary, but in the church itself. This did not happen outside of the church. This happened inside of the church. You open up the church doors, you go inside, the person was shot and killed, the custodian was shot and killed, while cleaning the church or in the church, inside of the church. And then we have little or no, well, it's still fresh, but I think that, again, I need to be home looking on TV, seeing people frustrated in front of that church from different faiths saying that this is unacceptable. Do not allow me to wait when something happened to a mosque, a temple, a synagogue, a shrine, and then, of course, everybody wants a black body, a black pastor, a black clergy to come out and support that type of movement. I'm saying on this post, people who were listening from a different faith, if you have a rabbi, if you have an imam, if you have a mullah, if you have a rosh, if you have whoever else, a priest from a different religion, what you need to do is that you need to let them know that they got to get out and they got to have their own rally. They have to have their own press conference to talk about the fact that the church has been desecrated and the church has been blasphemed by having someone come into the church, use a gun, and kill a custodian of the church inside of the church. That is my call today. That is my call. So if you on this chat, you tag someone of a different faith right now, go to your Facebook and let them know that anyone of a different faith, now is your time to stand up for the black church. Now is your time to stand up for the black community. This is the moment. I'm definitely, again, I'm going to send out a note to everyone, and I'm going to let them know that now is the opportunity to stand up for the black church. Every elected official, and you're right, Michelle, would have called a press conference to deal with someone being shot and killed in a temple, a mosque, or a synagogue. I'm not being facetious. I'm not being unrealistic. Listen, I run the office of the Brooklyn Borough President Faith-Based Initiative for the past 7 years, and I can tell you I have done a press conference for just about every single incident across the world, from the Paris shooting to the Charleston shooting to the bombing in Turkey to the bombing in Pakistan, to the hate crimes. I have done press conferences for everything that you can think of in the past 7 years in Brooklyn, from the Barclays Center to the from the stuff that happened in France and all those things. We have held press conferences. I have led those. I have organized those. I don't know if anyone else in terms of in the clergy field have organized more press conferences when it comes to houses of worship or people of faith in Brooklyn than Guilford Thelman Rose, working for the Brooklyn Borough President Eric Adams. This is my last year in the office of the Brooklyn Borough President's office. Last year, after September or what have you. I think next year is the last term. But now what I need you to do, I need to tag again. I'm not going to the press conference. I'm not helping to organize the press conference. I want to tweet about the press conference. and I want to sit down at home and I want to repost the live feed because I'm seeing other races, other religion coming and standing up for the black church. It's unacceptable. We should be able to have our friends now in a different spheres of religion stating that they're standing with us. That's it. I'm done. I'm out. I'm finito. This is it. That's what we need. We're tired. We got to do so many other things. And then to have someone come in a church and shoot up a church and kill a young man. Too, this summer, we were at Lennox Road Baptist Church, Reverend Cohol's church. 2 bullets went through the window. Thank God it was during COVID and no one was in the church. We stood at that corner too as well. You guys forget that? We were out there. We stand, maybe just members of the God Squad or what have you. But people who see it on the news and you know that it says that Lennox Road Baptist Church, you can literally pick up the phone. And if you have been in Brooklyn and you have been pastoring for 10 years or 5 years or 7 years, you're supposed to know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who can get to the pastor of the church. That's how it works in Brooklyn. It works in Brooklyn like that, and every other city. You have to know someone who knows someone and get to them. So here we are, brothers and sisters. I'm asking you, I'm having a little problem with my, okay, I got it. I'm asking you to share this video. I'm giving you a little opportunity to share this video now to people who you know. 1 second. Noise City. 1 second. Thank you. Get to your destination safely. All right. Okay. I'm giving you an opportunity, my Facebook friends. Show the world that I have a little bit of pull, or you're following a little bit of what I'm saying in these mornings. I'm asking you to help me right now before I leave. If you could share this post to someone else that you know that is in another religion. Okay? I need the help from the other faiths to come to our aid this week. So I'm giving you an opportunity. Could you just go through real quickly? Could you go through like your Facebook pages and just share this in a group that have people from the Hindu, from any other religion? Just hit them up real quickly. Or atheists, agnostics, people who have one particular religion or no religion. Could you just quickly tag them for me, please, in this video, and let them know that the central message from Pastor Gilman Rose is that the black clergy is totally shaken up, visibly shaken up yesterday. We're sick, we're tired. We've been working on gun violence for the whole summer. We have Juve coming up, and that's another full weekend of hours upon hours on the street. And we're asking for some support up in here. We're asking for rabbis, imams, and different individuals to stand up to let folks know that desecrating the house of God is definitely not the thing to do. So I'm asking you to help us to spread the word, to spread the news. We did a press conference yesterday. In my description below, you will see the response. You will hear some of the things that were said. You can have the link to the stories. The pastors are visibly frustrated, shaken, crying. I'm asking for your help. Send it out. Let people know. Right now, I'm on this thing, and there's 2 shootings every time I come on this live. Oh my God. There's 2 shootings that's happening right now that is going on in our city, right here in our neighborhood. 8 o'clock, man. People are having guns right now, shooting, solving issues. 8 o'clock. Like I said before, you got 6 o'clock, you got 8 o'clock, you got the murder of the young man in the vestibule of the church. We don't catch a break. We have not caught a break for the whole summer. And right now, as I'm speaking, in our chat, there is someone who is shot right now. It seems like the person is not going to make it. And so our day has just gotten longer. It's gotten longer. every day, all day, every day, all day, triaging shootings. And then I want to close by this. Next week, Wednesday, we having a beautiful ceremony. Over 56 young people, 56 young people that we hired for the summer, that we employed for the summer. In May, we talked about the fact that we are calling on organizations across the city to hire 900 young people for 90 days. Of course, we could not hire 900 young people, but at least we hired 56. And we're going to show, we don't like to boast, but we're going to show that we did our very best and we did our part. We're only one organization and we hired 56 young people. We know that 56 young people did not pick up a gun. We know that 56 young people were not in crews, and we know that 56 young people stayed alive. And that's what we know. I don't know what anyone else knows or what they're doing, but I know, hey, morning. But I know for sure that 56 young people stayed out of the violence this week. 56. I need you to share this feed. We need the help of all of our Jewish leaders. We need the help of all of our imams. I'm going to reach out to everyone right now, and I'm going to let them know that we are visibly, mentally tired. We have to deal with shootings upon shootings. Just now, even as we speak, I'm being pinged that someone is on the way to the hospital with a couple of shots in the chest in our area. I just read again, just being pinged that we have another. This is not Citizens App. This is our team who is working on this all the time, and we just have another shooting here at Howard. So tired. By the time you deal with the shooting in the church, we came home. We got a quick break. Then we got up in the morning. We were running for the victim, Mr. Edwards, who got shot, the custodian in the church. And then I'm on my live feed, and then we got 2 more bodies dropping. So then when we get up this feed, then we have another 2 situations to be dealing with. We're just not catching a break. So what I need is that I need from the other faith communities to help us today, this week especially, and say that we're standing with you, that the violence that we have, that someone is being shot in a church is unacceptable. We're not going to help plan the press conference. We're not going to help plan the march. You do all of that. We are going to support you. We're going to love you. We're going to thank you. Our hands are filled. Left, right, front, back. Our hands are filled with young people. We're doing back to school stuff. We're doing the food distribution. We're doing the farmers market. We're doing the PPEs. We're triaging these individuals. We're still supporting parents throughout the month of summer whose son or whose daughter have been killed. It's a lot of work. It's overwhelming of all of the pieces that is done. And I've said to you before that when we talk about violence, we're talking about the hidden effects, not just the fact that somebody is shot. That's just one part. But life continues and life goes on. I need people of other faith to stand with us today. That's what I need. Share this video, like I said one more time, to people of other faith and let them know what we are facing. Let them know the difficulty in which we are serving, and we need the help. That if this was in a synagogue, if this was in a temple, if this was in a shrine, if this was in the Hindu temple, in the Buddhist temple, somebody was killed inside of your house of worship. This response cannot be so tepid. It cannot be so minor. It cannot be, it's just another black community that is being killed. It cannot be just another no-name church on a block that the person was killing. It cannot be, well, why the person was shot. That's none of the issue. Doesn't matter. The person was in the house of God. House of God. And someone came in with a gun and shot and killed this individual. And I get up this morning in New York City and not a word. Well, if we lose our soul in this city, we have lost the city. Not about politics. because politicians, they come and they go. I'm talking about spirituality. I'm talking about religious responsibility, religious fiduciary responsibility. I'm talking about progressive, Millshot and Howard and Pacific, 20-year-old. Well, right where we run. I mean, I can literally just run over to that area right now. So what's up, people? We need the support. I will not agree that this happened in a mosque, this happened in a temple, this happened in a synagogue, somebody shot and killed inside. And then the next day that we get up, I'm not hearing anything. How could that be? How could that be? Could somebody post the time for me, please? I can't tell what time it is when I'm on. Could somebody post the time for me, please? If you can tell me what time is it. Somebody post the time for me. Anybody know the time? If you could just type the time in for me, please. All right. No one is out there. All right. So I'm closing. Yeah. Could you tell me the time? Do you know what time is it? Sorry about that. Once I get on live, I can't tell the time. Do you know what time is it out there? All of you lovely people. Do you know what time is it? Could you punch in the time for me really quickly in the comments so I can see? Oh, 9 a.m. All right. Hey, thank you so much. I got to go, everybody. It's 9 a.m. I got to go to my first meeting. God bless everybody. Again, share this video, like this video, share it to somebody else who is in a different religion. Let them know that we need their help. Let them plan their own press conference. They get in touch with me. You got my number, inbox me. But at the same time, I'm not coming to the press conference. We want you to do the support. Get your people and stand in front of your synagogue, temple, shrine, and let New York City know that having somebody being shot and killed in a house of worship is unacceptable. God bless everybody. Take good care. And I'm praying for the city of New York to get its soul together.